Welcome, come back, champions. I'm excited to be here with you today because we're going to talk about how to bounce back from a setback to make your comeback. I'm Tina Baxter. I'm the founder of the Nurse Shark Academy and Baxter Professional Services. So let's go ahead and get into it. So I wanted to talk today about a lived experience because I think a lot of times we forget what it is that we do. And I want to share my experience with you. So I'm going to share an experience that I had with me and my husband. There's a picture of him right there with his wonderful smile. You can see us right in front of our new location. So we had just moved into this location in March of 2020. April of 2020. Yes, April of 2020. We just moved to this new location. Everything seemed to be going well. My husband had faced some health challenges. So we had decided to go into business together. And this is our new location. We're very excited. 2020 is happening, pandemic happened, all the things that we had during that time, right? But that was a good time for us in that we were together more, we were at home working from our business, doing our thing every day. My husband, again, as I said, had health challenges. So he was going to dialysis and was working on doing the things that he needed. He had chronic kidney disease and he was on the transplant list. He was listed with the hospital. Things would seem to be going well. And then we get a phone call and it says, well, we're going to take him off the list. And so they took him off the transplant list. And so we fought to get him back on the transplant list. And we did all the things that they asked us to do for the transplant. And then we got the phone call the second time. They said, nope, we're going to take you off the list again. And we don't think that we will be able to do it. Now, we're trying to build a business together. We're doing all the things that we're supposed to do. And then life happens to us in the midst of the pandemic and all that was going on. Life happened to us. But I will say that during that time, we also grew closer together. Our business grew during this time. So it was a bittersweet, wonderful time for us. And so fast forward to that experience of them saying no, someone saying no to you. And so we regrouped, got our minds together, and said, we're going to go and ask someone else. We're not taking no for an answer. So we went to another transplant hospital and talked to their doctors and got on their list. And they took him and put him into their clinic. And so we were doing all the things to get him ready for transplant. And then he has a stroke. And so we spent a year working together, helping him with his rehab, getting his life back together. Meanwhile, while he's rehabbing and doing all the things that he needs to do after this devastating stroke, I'm taking care of the business, working my full-time job, doing all the things that we do in life, wondering when is it going to end? When are we going to get the goal that we had set forth and what we wanted to do? And so at the time, we just decided that we're just going to keep staying the course. And so after he had went through this with his stroke and he got better, he recovered, very residual, no residual deficits, hardly. He's doing very well. We finally get ready to get him to on the transplant list, and the doctor gives us the go ahead. We're very excited. We get on the list in less than a month of being on the transplant list. Because he had been on dialysis for so long, we get the phone call that says, show up to the hospital. We have a kidney for you. So we finally see the light at the end of the tunnel. We're so excited. Our goal is finally being met, only to get there. Have him prep for surgery. He's going down for surgery. I'm giving him a kiss to say, hey, I'll see you on the other side. All of this. And then about 30 minutes later, they asked me to come back up to the surgery suite and found out that they didn't do the transplant because the kidneys that they thought were going to work were damaged. And neither one of the kidneys would work. And so he was all prepped, ready to go, and it didn't happen. The surgeon came to me with tears in his eyes and let me know. I said, I'm so sorry, but we can't use these kidneys. I'm just so frustrated. And my husband and I told him, you know what, Doc? There's a reason why this happened. And if it wasn't going to be successful and it wasn't going to be the right kidney, we're glad you didn't do the surgery. And so we prepared and went home. And so when you're looking for that goal that you have and you know that it's coming and you finally think that you've reached it and yet you have another setback, what do you do? So I'll tell you the end of the story at the end. But I wanted to share my life story and my lived experience, because although my experience may be different from yours, we've all had something that we had to overcome. And so I'm going to share with you some quotes today from different people from all over the world that talks about what they've experienced and from different time points, different time periods. Because I want you to see that these obstacles and things that come in our life are common to man. It's common to us. And so I love this quote from Marlee Matlin. If you don't know who she is an actress who happens to be deaf. And she says, I live my life like everyone else. Everyone has their own obstacles. Mine is deafness. So I just want you to take a moment and take a pause and think about the obstacles that you faced in your life. And I want you to remember how you overcome or overcame those obstacles in the past. And we're going to use our be attitudes. These are the attitudes that we're going to show up with every day. It's taking your losses and reframing them and using it as fuel for your wins. It's keeping the faith that keeps you on solid ground, knowing that you can overcome. It's using an attitude of gratitude that makes your comeback all the more sweeter. These are your be attitudes, because so many times those negative thoughts will come and bombard us. And if we aren't careful, they will carry us away. They will keep us behind. They will keep us from reaching our full potential. And so, what are your be attitudes? It is the ability to change your attitude and attune to the positive. It is being intentional on how we show up. John Maxwell wrote, the first step towards success is leading yourself exceptionally well. It is a way of thinking and positioning yourself for success. So I wanted to share with you some of these quotes because I want you to know that it's not just me that's saying this, but there's other people that have gone through and overcome, and this is how you can overcome as well. So Carol Dweck says, when there's a setback, someone with a fixed mindset will start thinking, maybe I don't have what it takes. They may get defensive and give up. A hallmark of a successful person is that they persist in the face of obstacle, and often these obstacles are blessings in disguise. And I have to tell you, dealing with that disappointment of getting prepped for surgery and going down there only to find out that the kidney wasn't viable, that was a blessing in disguise. So out of your pain, you find your purpose. Your test then becomes your testimony. Your obstacle becomes your launch pad. Your setback is your setup for your comeback. And so let's get into it. So our first beatitude, we have 10. There's your first beatitude. You need to be calm. Thomas Wilhite says, worry never accomplishes anything. When you have a problem, it is best to concentrate on the solution to that problem, not the problem itself. So many times in what I do as a nurse practitioner, so many times when I'm talking to my patients, one of the common things that I find when they're anxious is because they're worried about the problem and not thinking about the solution. Catherine Minshew says, there are always going to be obstacles. I think the bigger your aspirations, the larger the obstacles. And so I want you to be calm and knowing that you're going to face obstacles. And that's okay, because everybody faces a challenge in their life. And your second, you need to be tenacious. I love this by Albert Einstein. He says, it's not that I'm so smart. It's just that I stay with problems longer. If you've got an obstacle in your life and you want to be an overcomer, you have to stay on it. Ella Wheeler Wilcox, no difficulty can discourage, no obstacle dismay, no trouble dishearten the man who has acquired the art of being alive. Difficulties are but dares of fate, obstacles but hurdles to try his skill, troubles but bitter tonics to give him strength, and he rises higher and looms greater after each encounter with adversity. This is how you become an overcomer. This is how you become a comeback champion, is that you stay tenacious. And you have to be fearless. You have to be bold. You have to have courage. You have to take risks. Robert F. Kennedy says only those who dare to fail greatly can ever achieve greatly. And I want to say, if you're playing small, stop playing small and play full out and play big. Queen Latifah, I love this. She said, fear can be good when you're walking past an alley at night or when you need to check the locks on your doors before you go to bed. But it's not good when you have a goal and you're fearful of obstacles. We often get trapped by our fears, but anyone who has had success has failed before. You also need to stay vigilant. Be vigilant. Martin Luther King Jr. says our very survival depends on our ability to stay awake, to adjust to new ideas, to remain vigilant, and to face the challenge of change. If nothing else we've learned out of the pandemic is to be vigilant and to expect change and to be willing to adjust and make a change and pivot and do things that we may not have ever done before, but be different, but stay true to our goals. Joy Mangano says, overcome obstacles one at a time. Sometimes the end goal becomes too daunting. So take things one step at a time and overcome each obstacle as you get to it. So a lot of times we're going and we get obstacles in our way, but we forget that it's just one step in front of the other that keeps us going forward. You have to be focused. Obstacles are those frightful things you see when you take your eyes off your goal. That's Henry Ford. And Amy Purdy says, we all have challenges. You can let them be obstacles or roadblocks, or you can use them, and you can use them to propel you forward when you stay focused. So it won't knock you off your track. You can continue to move forward towards the light. Let's go on. You need to be goal oriented. Be goal oriented. These are our be attitudes. Every day I want you to wake up with your be attitude and be goal oriented. Moliere says the greater the obstacle, the more glory in overcoming it. Louise Hay, the gateways to wisdom and learning are always open, and more I am choosing to walk through them. Barriers, blocks, obstacles, and problems are personal teachers giving me the opportunity to move out of the past and into the totality of possibilities. Be goal oriented and use every obstacle as an opportunity to see new possibilities in your life. I want you to be goal oriented and be intentional. Rob Liano says, achieving success is a challenge, but so is struggling. So you may as well choose success. Choose success today. Be intentional. Amy Morin, positive thinking is a valuable tool that can help you overcome obstacles, deal with pain, and reach new goals. Again, taking that what seems to be an obstacle, what seems to be a setback, and changing it and using it as fuel to propel yourself forward. And you need to be voracious. Les Brown, I love this quote, and I've heard him say it before. Wanting something is not enough. You must hunger for it. He says you must be hungry. Your motivation must be absolutely compelling in order to overcome the obstacles that will invariably come your way. We all face obstacles, but it's how you show up. It is your attitude and how you show up when those obstacles come. Debbie Ford says, within ourselves, there are voices that provide us with all the answers that we need to heal our deepest wounds, to transcend our limitations, to overcome our obstacles or challenges, and to see where our soul is longing to go. What is your passion? What gets you up and out of bed every morning? What is that goal that you must achieve, that fuel that keeps you going? And then you must be exceptional. This is from Booker T. Washington. He says, I've learned that success is to be measured not so much by the position that one has reached in life as by the obstacles which he has had to overcome while trying to succeed. Dan Pena, super success is not for everyone, and you will endure weeks and months and years of hard work, obstacles, failures, victories, pain, and any manner of negative experiences to reap the rewards of success. Drink from the golden goblet and own the brass ring. And then Francis Hesselbein says, in my life, I don't have roadblocks and obstacles. I might have something you would call a challenge. I throw that out the window and I call that a wonderful opportunity. So you need to be exceptional in your thinking and turning those obstacles into opportunities. And then lastly, you need to be grateful. C.S. Lewis says, when we lose one blessing, another often is most unexpectedly given in its place. And sometimes it seems like you may lose something. They may tell you, no, we're going to take you off the list. They may say, no, the kidney is no good, but there may be an unexpected blessing given in its place. Melody Beatty says, gratitude makes sense of our past, brings peace for today, and creates a vision for tomorrow. So let's review. To be an overcomer and a comeback champion, you have to be calm. You have to do what you need to stay in that peace of mind. Be tenacious and keep going. Don't give up. Be fearless. Have courage and take risks. Be vigilant and stay focused. Be goal oriented and be intentional in your goals. Be voracious and stay hungry. Be exceptional and be grateful for your blessings. So, our final thoughts today. This is from Floyd Mayweather, and he says, if anyone has followed my career, they know that there's been a lot of obstacles and a lot of ups and downs through my career. But day in and day out, and in the square circle, I went out there and always did my best. Marie Kondo says, I've been so focused on what to discard, on attacking the unwanted obstacles around me, that I've forgotten to cherish the things that I love, the things I wanted to keep. So I want you to remember the things that you want to keep today, forgetting those things that are standing in your way, but focus on your beatitudes. And now to give you the rest of the story, 2 days later, 48 hours later, we got a phone call that says we've got another kidney. Show up to surgery. And when they did the surgery, they said the kidney was a perfect match. Come on, y'all. That's talking about being a comeback champion. So if you want to contact me and you want to learn more, you can always reach out to us at the nurse-shark-academy.biz, and you can go to our website. There's a QR code. And also for those of you that are comeback champions, you can get our 10 Beatitudes on an infographic. You can download that yourself, put it up on your mirror, put it on your window, put it on your phone as a screensaver, whatever it is you need to do to remind you of your Beatitudes. And lastly, I want to say from Maya Angelou, if you don't like something, change it. If you can't change it, change your attitude. This is Tina Baxter for the Nurse Shark Academy. I want to thank you for being with me today. I am a comeback champion, and today is my January 1. Bye-bye.